Good morning. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and we are figuring out the mystery of the Roottrees some more. Oh, all right. Did I do that right? I don't think so. I fucked that up.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh
Stop, leave me be. Don't want to say. Yeah, continue. This one. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So we have 18 finalized. I need to get to 33. They keep saying I have 50 people, like 50 blood relatives to discover. And that seems like a lot. I guess. I don't know. These two ladies are a mystery. I need like more publications. Yeah, I wish I had like a music. Cause Starlet or whatever is only like movie stars. I need like a music magazine. I guess we can try and find Ernie. Ernie Jr. Yeah. Oh, what's his name? We don't know. Probably Madsen. Yeah. Did I spell it right? Yeah, Madsen. Ernie Madsen Jr. Nope. Ernie Roottree. Oh, Ernest Madsen Jr. There we go. An article from 1982 announces that an Ernest Madsen Jr. is taking over the day-to-day operations of Roottree after the previous president died unexpectedly. Little is known about Ernest, but sources close to the family who have asked to remain anonymous have made it clear that he is more than qualified. There are rumors that Ernest had originally trained to succeed Zach Morton, but had been passed up for unspecified reasons. Business Watch also managed to get a quote from the company's publicist. The last 4 years at Roottree have been rough. In an attempt to keep our products relevant to the modern audiences, some of our decisions have had unintended consequences. From the fancy flavors misstep to the batter up bar, we've taken a bit of a tumble in the public eye, but Mr. Madsen is committed to getting back to the basics. Okay. Nothing. Fancy Flavors. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year in 1979. It was Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as president of Roottree. In an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted, Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavors to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavor in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. 5 pieces sold less that year than it had any other year except in some foreign market. It's quickly announced caviar was meant to be a limited flavor and would go back to normal. The Batter Up Bar. So I think I had read that one. The Batter Up Bar was a failed candy bar released by Roottree. Launched with great fanfare in 1980, it was meant to evoke the classic combination of pancakes and maple syrup. The name came from the fact that its recipe used a creamy imitation of pancake batter as its filling, and the packaging had baseball imagery. Consumers loved the taste, and the candy launched to stellar reviews, but after a little less than a month on the shelf, it was discovered that the filling of unopened bars began to separate and developed an off-putting texture described as powdery chunks of floating in oily goop. This odd consistency made it the punchline of late-night jokes for weeks, solidifying its reputation as a failure. I see. But it was good. No clues there. There was some lady. That they mentioned did the like the yearly or biannual ancient maple harvesting thing. Someone Cattrall. And I wish I had a name for her. I wonder if I can Google Roottreee publicist. Candy. Nope. Okay. So we've got some stuff. It says there's 10 pieces of evidence in this. I guess let's look at Peter Janowitz. A music critic, you'll find him mentioned on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees, used for work for Modern Music Monthly. Ooh, this was what I needed. Yay! I was just saying I needed a music thing. Ah, sweet. An abbreviation for Modern Music Monthly, a magazine from the 40s to the 80s. It went out of business due to high competition from much more major publications. You can't stop me now. Jimothy Roottree. Well, Jim and the Diamonds. Jim and Diamond. Okay. A review and interview from 79 called A Reluctant Hitmaker. Jim goes into his first band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were C and J and D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on, not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. But, okay. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you'd hum a week later. I've been told that Roland is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh. I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffer Tunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. I guess I know your dad. Your dad died in the war. Yeah. No. Elias C. Roottree is your dad. Okay. Raffer Tunes. Oh, sweet. A website about Raffer Tunes. Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. This is a different guy. On it, there's an about page, and you find a picture labeled the inspiration for the famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Below that, more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to calm down for the picture. He had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. The photo is now in your evidence. Okay. So that means he's got 2 kids. This is Clark Rafferty LaRue. So... But he's got kids. Do I have these wrong? They're locked in though. And he's what? The same as Carl, so 4th gen, maybe. What's Katrina done? Anything? Nope. What about Clark Rafferty? A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about new records. An album titled These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following. These Times, a new single from C&J and J&D. All of these people. Amateurish folk style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. Her youngest sister. A band called C&J and J&D released one single. Someone with the username Die Hard Dazzler scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently, this was Jim Roottree and Diamond LaRue's first song together. He also mentions that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and that it is only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later works. You can't find anything else about Die Hard Dazzler, the band, or the single, so all that's left to do is scan it in the evidence. Oh, 35-minute download. I want to look this up. Yeah. An article from 1968, you find a small section focusing on young up-and-coming talent and that Modern Music Monthly predicts will make it big. It has this to say about the LaRues. The LaRue sisters got their start doing session work for their great-uncle's record label. If you remember any songs from 60 to 65 that featured the voices of kids, they were probably involved. Back then, they were credited as the Lucky LaRues. Now that he's passed, they've moved on to bigger and better ventures and are going by their full names. Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces. Ever heard of the Roottrees? And are looking to release an album sometime in the next year. Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. I see. So he was with Jane. And now he's with Kim. Right. Yeah, where is it? With her youngest sister. Cheating bastard. LaRue. Yeah. Yeah, I read that. Okay. Bet it's Kim. Kim LaRue. No, it's Kim. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jane. And this was what I searched, diamond. Yeah. Okay. Clark Rafferty. That's it. Okay. These times. Folk style songwriting, catchy. ... An old single from folk group C and J and J&D. You have a scan of the album as well as a recording of the title track thanks to a collector of Jim and Roottree memorabilia. The website also listed the song's credits as music and lyrics by Clark Rafferty and Jim Roottree, backup vocals by the LaRues. On it is a sticker that says folk style songwriting, catchy. There are no clues in the lyrics.
Life is life, love shall be. Me for you, and you for me. Someday will come, though, that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years, all paths diverge, rivers rambling.
This one's better than the other one.
One source behind old memories, but find their ways to different seas. Someday these times will all be over. Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. We'll tell ourselves stories older, dwell on warmth, ignore the colder, probably yearn for what could be, rose tinted by youth's memory.
Yeah, this one's this one's much better, I would say. I like the wordplay.
For now, ignore fate's destiny. Two roads that cross once at this tree. Someday these times will all be over. Dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over. The dew dries on the morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
All right. I don't know who's who though. It was labeled the inspiration for the famous ad campaign. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and while his wife was trying to get Katrina, his youngest, to calm down, he had the idea for the Roottree Super Bowl ad. Okay. Well, Roottree Super Bowl ad. The Roottree Maple Super Bowl commercial from 1994 has a family bickering in a department store, and the father bites into a Roottree Maple crisp. Time stops, a jingle plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, different things in the department store become Roottree candy. A bed that he collapses into becomes a giant chocolate bar. The jingle, Need the Rest, went on to be featured in other commercials with other scenarios. Ho ho ho. What's a Roottree Maple crisp? Doesn't matter, I guess. When you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough there to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. What's it doing that? No, because it's from 94. Business watch? Clark. Tea. Review. I'm getting a phone call. One sec. And we're back. I guess he's in advertising. And he's this one. And she's this one. And then his kids be this one. And this one with what? Katrina. Jessica, what's your occupation? Child. Occupation, baby. K to 12. All right. Booyah. Okay. So he's sort of got like green eyes. And she's blonde. Let's say this is her. Ugh. Imperceptible. Wait. He's got like a beardy. No. Let's do him. I don't know, man. Escándalo, Clark. Escándalo. Is there Clark Jr.? Nope. Oh, this one's gotta be Clancy Jr. then. Why is it the job? Who knows, man? I guess we've got Debbie and Nicole, whose last name is Madsen, I think. Yeah, we've got Nicole Madsen and Deborah Bean. Okay. Deborah. Okay. Oh, I bought just for me. I'm going to ban him. Banned. I guess. We can just speculate. She did say that. Lauren said that one thing about. Every lady being a housewife or something. I don't know. Slim Pickens. The campaign mailer has 6 little nuggets. I don't know what grown up in an unconventional family means. CM. What do we have as a CM? Would it be this? No. She's got to be married and she's got a baby. Around Christmas of what year? This year? Stephanie Jones, where are you? Okay, so she doesn't have a baby yet. Because it's December 6th or some more shit. Stephanie Landon. Carolyn. Yeah, it's someone whose spouse we have a picture of. I bet it's these ones. Let's try it. Is it? No. Yeah. Yeah, that's her. This is her husband. His name is Brian Jones. Her name is Stephanie Landon. She's a politician. Politics. And I got the 5 pieces done. Booyah. Did I get all of these right? Or they say so. I'm surprised I got these right. Well, I guess, I mean, is it cheating for us to sort of Carolyn Morden? Sweet. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Carolyn Morden. There isn't much about Carolyn as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there's an image of Carolyn standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It's captioned, Carolyn standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis' Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and Beauty of Women. I love when they give me books. According to a quote further down, Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Rich. Is it Carol? Sweet. To Eloise and Stephanie. Mostly black and white pictures of Carolyn's art, the centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Rude. In the intro, Carolyn talks about influences. She was one of the youngest of her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed by her sister Gwendoline and cousin Bonnie. When her sister Gwendoline and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Their marriages led her to double down on her passions, art and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which is an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottree company's effect on the local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments of her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. Okay. There's a lot here. Her sister Gwendolyn. So Caroline Morden. She was an artist. Mark something. Mark Landon. There we go. Is there an Eloise? Lesbian. Oh yeah, Gwendolyn. Okay. Sick. Carolyn standing next to her sculptures Atlantis' Burden, one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, The Art of Beauty in Women. Okay. Okay. Carolyn is on the same level as Coral. So somewhere there's a Bonnie. Do we think her name's Bonnie? Yeah, Bonnie Hudson. Okay. And he's named Wilson. It's a lot of Wilsons. To settle for boring men. Does that mean they're housewives as well? Let's look up Bonnie Hudson. Okay. Oops. This has got to be Ernie Jr. He was the 4th president. Hers was Deborah. This is her picture. Nicole. Let's try K through 12. We're in the guessing era. Oh yeah. Now I can give her that. Did I search her? No, not yet. Listed on a few websites. She seems to be associated with a movement called P-Flag. Good for her. Search. Organization founded in the 70s. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. I think this is her. I think it says artiste, like a beret. These are her brothers. Those are the only ones I need to assign. So I guess oldest to youngest. Glasses, blonde, kid. Glasses, blonde, kid. She's November. Bonnie. Guy Hudson. Eli M. Oh, so this is Eli M. And he's someone we have an additional photo to. No. She wouldn't have named them. I think this is Eli M. Let's gamble on mechanic, shall we? Tessa mechanic. So 1, 2. was an advertisement. Yeah, these two look alike. So this is November. Bonnie Hudson. Someone is Ernie Jr. I said that this is Caroline. Someone has glasses. There was like a diary about it. Where's the, yeah, Roottree Motors. Wilkins Motors is now Roottree Motors. So we think we've got 2. I guess I can just slap photos in here. Until I figure it out. To him? Done. Sweet. Oh, 3 more and she comes back. Okay. Okay, so we got Bonnie Hudson. This is Ernie Jr. This is Caroline. We have Gwyneth M. We have, so Gwyneth M and Gwendoline. Are the 2 ladies. The Miracle Jr. and then Jim and Clark are the 2 guys. So let's say this is them and this is him. We'll try. Let's see. I need Roottrees to add. Yeah. EC is in here. Guaranteed. Gwyneth. Yeah. Okay, thick glasses of Patsy. Her children have that covered. So this is Gwyneth, which means that this is Gwendoline. Let's say she's a housewife because Carolyn said she might be. Okay, we have them. Okay. So we've got that. Who says egg cream? Who indeed? He's the head lawyer, yeah. Clark. Her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. So he's not a historian, not a preacher, a public speaker, a professor. Duh. PG and Christopher. Yeah. Traveling the world with his. Zach was quoted, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I plan to reflect on a life well lived." Clara. He had no children. His wife, Patricia. Do we have it? Yeah. We have those kids. Dr. Wilson. So we have some Wilsons. Jason, Steven, Zach. Jason, Steven, Zach. Jason, Wilson. Let's try a doctor. Steven. There we go. Dr. Steven Wilson is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Although there are a lot of Steven Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one's apparently found a way to gain the search results as he pops to the top every time. His website claims he is the pediatrician to the stars. The only evidence for this is he apparently was the doctor to the Roottree sisters. There's a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. The 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photos have been added to your evidence. There is also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. "My dad is the best dad in the entire world. He treats every patient with world-class care. He will treat your children like he would me, my big brother, or my sister." Okay. So we've got Steven Wilson. Pediatrician to the stars. Wow, dude. A real shithead. Methinks. Yeah, brutal. Two years ago. So let's do him, and then her, and then him. Sorry, the quote was for, it says Jason, written by Jason. So Jason's the little one. He's gonna be a student. Oh, sweet. Okay, so I've
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation, but I can't reveal everything. Not yet. I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake, so I'll try to explain why. It's true, I'm working with lawyers, but not the candy company lawyers, my publisher's lawyers. I'm on the verge of releasing a book, and it's not kind to the Roottrees, especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy. So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story. If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say that the work you're doing is very personal to me. To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in.
Are you Samantha?
Also, there are fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from home.
Fuck me.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. So I was gonna say, these pictures are wrong. So I think this is him, and then this is him. We'll see in a sec. Her name is Jem Wilson, and he's Wilson Phillips. Zach. College student. K through 12, who knows? We just need one more. No, we need 2 more. An unconventional family. The CM. Carolyn Morden. Something about Jim's dad. So there's some kids here for sure. UIC for Clancy or Edward. Okay. Search. You find very few details about this particular incident with regards to the Clanced Trust. A student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on Legal Oddities website. From what we can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. Who's RR? First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. Second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clanced Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottree without completely dissolving the trust. Okay. Musicians and artists and dancers. So it's November. Yeah. She's a dancer. It's Gamble on Housewife. Nope. Okay. I don't know this for sure. Nope. Edward is said to take over his department. So Pop is a lawyer. That means he is a lawyer. And this is his kid. So who's not correct? So the kid's not correct? He's 12. Oh, no, he is. Okay. So she's not a housewife. Oh, she's like a gardener. Construction. Farmer? Oh, did I look this one up? Did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of similar names. Someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. Yeah, this is. That's a bombshell. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they did something. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm gonna lock in her kids. Where's that photo? There it is. Film school. So, Swoopy first. This guy second. She said something. Walter Forsythe. Okay. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. Her father's name is Cornwall. Oh, sorry. That probably sucked to hear. Okay, so we got some Roottree. One's Robert and one's Ronald. Director. Okay. Hmm. Chris Rafferty. Gwyneth Madsen. How do I spell it? Kind of stumped. I'm kind of stubborn. We don't have any unassigned pictures. I said Pennsylvania. I want that one. Yeah. Mrs. Cattrall. Sam and Stephanie. Did I search that? Let's gamble on that because it rhymes. Clancy Roottree Jr. Maybe one. Maybe two. Okay. No, man. I don't want to use a hint, though. Let me just search yours. Whisper. That's how you spell it. America. No. News. Slim pickings, huh? So we got two that need the same last name. No, we need 3 people with the same last name. We've got Kellogg's. David. So now we need 2 people with the same last name. Oh, this is poor content. I'll tell you what. I guess it's time, perhaps. Yeah, rubber duck, I'm stuck. Okay, James Roottree. Okay. My bad. I thought I looked this up. Diamonds Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. We find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail, a random forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamonds Dazzlers. That's cute. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There's a fierce debate in the subsequent posts about whether that's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. A card from 1996 includes Jim and Diamond's young son Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. The picture has been added to your evidence. Thanks, Hint Duck. The Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which was described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in the good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive. Not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They're probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said that although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There is no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, Conquistador, has been added to your evidence. Beef Baby. Beef Baby is a song by the Floozies. You can't actually find anything else about it anywhere, but with a name like that, it's hard not to speculate about the subject matter, isn't it? Could it be a euphemism about a newborn cow? Perhaps the Floozies are holding a grudge against a toddler. Certainly piques your curiosity if only you had time for resources to look into it further. I think I do. Well, great. The Floozies. Candy, Nikki, Nina. And then a Christmas card. Wolf listening to his parents' latest music. Okay. No, not that, sorry. What? Why did it? Shika. Candy. Wolf. Candy. Wolf. Which one's that? The other Roottrees. Jack. Christina. Not necessarily in that order. She is a musician. He is a baby. Oops. This is defunct. Fleeces. Okay. So they all pursued like education. Maybe he's a screenwriter. Oh shit. Okay, so the kid's not a baby, maybe. There we are. Roottree. Why don't they have anything? Hmm. Maybe April. And then their daughter's name, November. Why not? They like to name people after people. There's going to be a picture of his spouse. There's going to be a picture of his spouse. Oops. Bethany Kellogg. Was that Ivy? Let's say that all these kids are students. Because nope, not a secretary. Okay. I mean, this isn't a baby. raised them as brothers. Child out of wedlock. Where's the original diary? Paths of knowledge. EC and John. Oops, sorry. More. Eli, Miracle's youngest. Yeah, I got that, Eli. There was, when I was looking up when Leslie Florence. I guess it's duck time again. Yeah, I know. Radical new flavors because it's no longer than 1920. What even is an elderberry? I guess I'll Google elderberry. Yeah. Unhelpful duck. Oh, yeah. Aimed at teenage girls. Website has a new section that offers condolences for the loss of the Roottrees sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by our magazine. Raina Roottree first appeared on the cover on her 16th birthday. Okay. Close. The Roottrees sisters appear in many ads for both Candy and Root clothes and teen class. This search engine isn't the best, and so your results are flooded with page after page. Some specifically mention Raina. Riley and Rose seem to be mentioned by name less than her older sister. What's her name? Carly. Kylie. Candy Roottree. I bet. Oh. Beef baby. T-Blast. TMS. What's he up to? Brother Trouble, new gossip. Also, how to know if he's interested. And win a trip to the set of a new movie. Raina, Sweet 16. The candy girl gets serious about her inspirations and aspirations. There's an article about Raina Roottree from 1994. Is it raining? It might be raining. Oh, I don't think you're a real human being, Lad Tub HB. If I had to guess. Ban. Mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. In an interview, Raina talks about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. Yeah, because you're rich. My grandpa was a college professor who taught lectures about history. He always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottree name famous for things besides candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. I took his advice and now I work with my mom designing clothing. I help decide what colors and patterns I want to model, then she designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud of what we've managed to accomplish. I want to look up TMS. Tommy Mark Sheridan appeared on the cover of Teen Blast a record of 38 times, including 3 back-to-back months during the height of Brother Trouble. Okay. In the issues he wasn't on the cover, he was still mentioned quite often. You read every word of every article, and besides the fact that he was married to Raina, only one thing seems relevant. A gossip section from 96, about 8 months before their marriage, is called "Is TMS Dating a Roottrie?" It says, at a recent autograph signing, TMS told Teen Blast reporter that he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently, the cast of Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year. And this time, TMS found love. The mega hottie has this to say. She's incredible. She came to the party to meet me specifically, and I'm glad she did. She said she had a crush on me when she was younger. I told her I have a crush on her from her posters now. When our Teen Blast reporter asked who the lucky girl was, TMS refused to spill. But we did some digging. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope, who played TMS's mom on the show. And get this, Ron is a distant relative of the Roottree sisters. Okay. So, Penelope. Penelope Tessa Green is mentioned in a few articles about Brother Trouble. The show stars TMS and DCB played her sons on television. Penelope's character was not really who teenage girls cared about. As a result, there's very little gossip surrounding her. I'm going to search him here. DCB was TMS's co-star on Brother Trouble. Their mother was played by Penelope. Dustin Christopher Baker was in quite a few Teen Blast gossip columns, but it's not related to the Roottrees. Since leaving Brother Trouble, he's appeared in a few straight-to-VHS movies that adapt classic literature to a family audience with minor success, the most popular of which was Jane Eyre, which reimagined the Charlotte Bronte novel as a high school romance focusing on skateboarding. It doesn't seem to be associated. Excuse me. Penelope. Sweet. Penelope Tessa Green is a retired comedian. There's a result for Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers doing more family-friendly material. You find a picture labeled Joke O Lantern 1997, as well as a different picture labeled Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets, 94. Both are added to evidence. What's the Laugh Lounge? Okay. Joke O'Lantern. So this is 97 with that baby. And this is 94. So this and baby is a baby. That's what? 1, 2, 3. Well, let's just plunk jobs in until we're right. There we go. Sweet. Sweet. Yep. Sweet. A booyakasha. Okay. I think I'll save it here since we just locked it down. And then we'll come back another time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. I got my first bots, so I'm pretty proud. And I'll see you later.